Hello, and welcome to the Daily Dose of Your Spiritual Vitamin with me, Bonnie B. This morning, I'm going to attempt, hopefully this video will work with me, to bring you, by the grace of God, more information on the paradox of the divine. The fact that we rest in the cradle of the arms of the divine, in His mind. That's where we rest in our realities. So we're going to pick up from there. We're going to move forward. Like I said, I don't know how long this video is going to work with me. So I'm going to try to take advantage of whatever time I can get on it and get another one out here to you and finish picking up this study on our mind. So we're going to pick up right here. It says the last thing I had was, then calm and peaceful do we sleep, rocked in the cradle of the deep, resting safely on the bosom of the oceans of the infinite mind, which in the all, indeed, do we live and move and have our being. Matter is nonetheless matter to us. While we dwell on the plane of matter, although we know it to be merely an aggregation of electrons and particles of force, vibrating rapidly, gyrating around each other in the formation of atoms, the atoms in turn vibrating and gyrating, forming molecules, which later in turn form masses of matter. Nor does matter become less matter when we follow the inquiry still further and learn from the Hermetic teachings that the force of which the electrons are but units is merely a manifestation of the mind of the all. And like all else in the universe, is purely mental in nature. While on the plane of matter, we must recognize its phenomena. We may control matter, as all masters of higher or lesser degrees do, but we do so by applying the higher forces. We commit a folly when we attempt to deny the existence of matter in relative perspectives. We may deny the mastery over us, and rightly so. But we should not attempt to ignore it in its relative aspects, at least so long as we dwell upon this plane. Nor do the laws of nature become less constant or effective when we know them, likewise, to be merely mental creations. They are in full effect on the various planes. We overcome lower laws by applying still higher ones. As above, so below, applying the laws of vibration and poles. And in this way only, so let me read it back. We overcome the lower laws by applying the higher laws. And in this way only. But we cannot escape the law or rise above it entirely. Because to rise above the law entirely is to consider yourself a god. Nothing but the all can escape the law. And that must. Let me see. Nothing but the all can escape the law. And that's because the all is the law itself, from which all laws are emerged. The most advanced masters may acquire the powers usually attributed to the gods of men. Lower G. Meaning things of this world. Being able to manipulate your forces in stock markets and gambling. Different forces that are happening here on this plane. There is energy from vibration to vibration. The laws of manifestation works on the lower planes as well as the higher planes. Don't get it twisted. But if you use your higher plane knowledge, you can achieve lower plane things. Trust and believe. That's called manifestation. Okay? Don't get it twisted. The most advanced masters may acquire the powers usually attributed to the gods of men. G-O-D-S, lowercase, not the all. That means your lusty desires. That means the things that can be manipulated on this plane. Those are the gods of men. Those are the things that you idolize. Think about it. And these are countless ranks of beings in the greatest hierarchy of life, whose beings and power transcend even the highest masters among men to a degree unthinkable by mortals. But even the highest masters and the highest being, meaning supernatural abilities. Supernatural abilities. And this is where it is important for you to understand that spiritual warfare is real. Because there are beings higher than human beings with higher intellects who operate on higher vibrations than we do. They operate on different planes and different dimensions and different galaxies. They are very real. As much as you may want to believe it is Twilight Zone, it is not. It is reality. Now, whether or not your perception of reality will allow you to accept it as being a reality, it's on you. Nonetheless, it doesn't change the fact that what is real is still real. The laws of absolute law of reality and relative laws. So absolute is God and relative law is man. And the relative law of humanity says that there have been seen UFOs. People have been removed. There have been higher beings. Every day they are uncovering higher beings, beings of higher intelligence. So let's not discount it. Let's not act like this is Alice in Wonderland and we done fell down the damn rabbit hole. Because ain't nobody fell down no holes nowhere. This is reality. This is unconscious knowledge. This is knowledge that should be conscious. This is stuff that you see all the time and think it's a hoax. It ain't no hoax. There are laws in the universe at play here. So there are relative realities and absolute realities. They are truths. These are pole-to-pole existence. The higher vibrations are absolute laws of God. He tells us in the beginning in the book of Enoch and in the book of Genesis that he created the firmament of the world and he created the angels on the second day. We know that from Enoch. We know he created them from rocks. We know that one out of the 10,000s of angels and legions of angels that God created, one decided he wanted to be equal to God in power. We know that he placed his throne in the outside atmosphere above the earth. So for us to see that beings exist with higher levels of intelligence and not to acknowledge that they exist and have the ability to do things that far supersede the human intellect, is to live in a farce and fairy tale. That's how come conscious awareness is necessary. Because I talk about the mark of the beast, but the mark of the beast is here. Our children are aware of computer chips. But if you do not tell them don't take it because it's the mark of the Antichrist, they're going to take it because they're going to think, hey, it's another video thing. They're not going to want to hear it. But nonetheless, train up a child. These are indigo children, crystal children. These are future star seeds that need to be ready for battle. And although we may not like discussing these type of things with our children, there are absolute truths and relative truths. Sleepwalk it if you want to. You'll pay now or you'll pay later. You can keep your head buried in the sand like the ostrich, not for protection, but just for hiding. It's up to you. We all get a choice. We all get to come to that crossroads known as the Two of Swords in the Tarot. We can either stand on the shores like the Three of Swords, Three of Wands, and look for new things to come. Or we can act like the Two of Wands and grasp the world and move forward. But nonetheless, we all approach the Two of Swords mentally, the crossroads of our own minds of what we deem is right and what we deem is wrong. And we all weigh up the scales of justice in our lives. And we make our decisions. And we create towers. And we go through cycles. This is life. So, on that note, you stay blessed, my beloved, until it's time for your next daily dose of your spiritual vitamin with me.